Hi, my name is Brittany Likens, and I'm giving my educational giant report on Elliot W. Eisner. Elliot W. Eisner was born in Chicago, Illinois on March 10, 1933, to Louis and Eva Eisner, who had immigrated from Eastern Europe. Early in his elementary days, his mother noticed the considerable talent he had for art. She had dreams of him becoming a commercial artist as he continued into college. After spending time at Roosevelt University and working with African American boys in the American Boys Commonwealth, he turned his main focus from art to art education. Once he gained his bachelor's in art and education in 1954 from Roosevelt University, he attended Illinois Institute of Technology, where he earned his master's in education. He then finished his master's of art at the University of Chicago, where he also earned his PhD in education in 1962. While Eisner was continuing his own education, he held several different teaching jobs, the first of which he taught as a high school art teacher in Chicago from 1956 to 1958. This job led him to become an art teacher at the University of Chicago. After teaching there from 1958 to 1960, Eisner became an instructor in art education at Ohio State University, where he taught for a year. For the following year, he was an instructor in education at the University of Chicago. In 1962, he became an assistant professor of education at the University of Chicago, where he held that position for the next 3 years. In 1965, Eisner joined the Stanford University faculty as an associate professor of education and art. Then, in 1970, Eisner moved to the professor position, where he finally stayed. Elliot Eisner married a woman by the name of Ellie, and together they had 2 kids, a son Steve and a daughter Linda. Elliot Eisner had a significant impact on art and education. One concern Elliot had was schools were not including enough of an appreciation for art. They were narrow-minded in education. Years later, following this same idea of leaving students with an unbalanced education because of the lack of art appreciation in schools, Howard Gardner would make a similar point regarding the need for multiple intelligences. One of Eisner's arguing points was that some research showed that instruction in music, dance, and painting actually boosted test scores in math and science. Eisner urged for the study of critical and aesthetic art education. Because of Elliot Eisner's concern and determined attitude towards including art in education, art education has become a content-oriented discipline. To help the subject of an art be on the same advanced level as science and math, Eisner recommended an art curriculum that was more rigorous and sophisticated. Not only was he concerned with art education, but also curriculum studies and qualitative research methods. Eisner stayed busy, giving lectures, writing books, teaching, and being involved in projects. While he was serving as the president of the National Art Education Association, he created a list of 10 lessons the arts teach. Some of the projects he was included in are the Kettling Project and the Getty Center of Education in the Arts. The Kettling Project was a 2-year project that was focused on creating curriculum that would advance the quality of art education taught in schools across the continent. Art education has become prevalent in American schools largely in part of Elliot W. Eisner's unrelenting desire to have art be as much of a part of education as science, math, and reading. Now students are being taught subjects of all areas, giving them a well-rounded education. We know that art does not only pertain to painting and drawing, but also to musical talents and dancing. These are all talents which can be developed during time in school if it is made available. If kids are introduced to these different subjects, they may realize the talents they can develop. God wants all of us to develop the talents He has given us to the best of our ability. Art was something the school system I attended made sure to be part of the courses we had to take. Because of this, I realized the talent I had for using my hands to do things such as build with clay and also learn to draw and paint. If these subjects had not been offered in school, I would never have had the chance to develop those skills. Elliot Eisner taught our nation that art is an important subject, and as teachers and future teachers, it is our duty to make sure the subject of art is not taken lightly or even overlooked. is to be taught, studied, learned, and participated in, or else all of Eisner's dedication and work was for naught. I'm thankful for the influence Elliot Eisner had on our country in showing the importance of art education. Now students have the opportunity to broaden their knowledge, develop new and exciting talents, and become a better off, well-rounded citizen ready to be an important part of society.